Maverick, a top Navy aviator who has been flying for 30 years, is still pushing the limits of aviation, but when he takes Top Gun's elite grads on a mission that necessitates the ultimate sacrifice from those selected to fly it, he is forced to face ghosts from his past. It centers on Maverick's return to the United States Navy Strike Fighter Tactics Instructor Program, also known as the U.S. Navy Fighter Weapons School or Top Gun, 30 years after the events of its predecessor. There, he must face his past while mentoring a group of younger pilots, one of whom is the son of Maverick's late best friend Lieutenant Nick "Goose" Bradshaw, USN. Captain Pete Mitchell of the U.S. Navy, also known by his call sign Maverick, has served in the military for more than 30 years and has received numerous medals, awards, and decorations for extraordinary bravery in battle. He now finds himself right at home in the cockpit, pushing the envelope as a top test pilot. After the events of Top Gun, 1986, Maverick spent years evading promotions. Now that he is responsible for preparing the following generation of elite fighter pilots for an almost impossible suicide mission, Maverick is forced to face his dark past and uncertain future. But while the seasoned naval aviator pushes the boundaries of the rules to prepare the brilliant graduates for the top-secret assignment, Mitchell must deal with a challenge just as important: navigating through an uncomfortable, acrimonious relationship with a hotshot lieutenant harboring resentment. Mavericks and Captain Pete "Maverick" Mitchell is currently a test pilot with the United States Navy, more than 3 decades after his experience at Top Gun. Maverick flies the prototype to its speed goal before pushing further into high hypersonic speed, killing it as Rear Admiral Chester "Hammer" Kane approaches with plans to halt the hypersonic Dark Star scramjet program and divert funding to drone programs. Instead of sending Maverick to NAS North Island as a Top Gun instructor as ordered by Maverick's friend and former foe Admiral Tom "Iceman" Kazan Sky, head of the U.S. Pacific Fleet, Kane wants to ground him for his irresponsibility. Vice Admiral Bo "Cyclone" Simpson and Rear Admiral Solomon "Warlock" Bates assign Maverick to train a select squad of F-18E/F Super Hornet pilots for a pressing mission: the attack on an unauthorized uranium enrichment facility in another nation. The plant is protected by 5th-generation Su-57 fighters flying out of a neighboring air base and surface-to-air missiles because it is located in a deep depression at the end of a canyon. 2 pairs of Super Hornets will be used in Maverick's attack, and they will fly across a canyon to destroy the plant. Particularly Lieutenant Jake "Hangman" Serazin and Lieutenant Bradley "Rooster" Bradshaw, the son of Maverick's late best friend and RIO Nick "Goose" Bradshaw, first reject Maverick. As the pilots prepare for the trip, tension arises between Hangman and Rooster, who clash over Rooster's prudence and Hangman's carefree attitude toward his wingmen. The pilots re-evaluate and gather around Maverick as they watch him. Additionally, Maverick meets up with his ex-girlfriend Penny Benjamin, to whom he confesses that Rooster's mother, who is now deceased, forced him to vow to prevent her son from flying and prevented Rooster from applying to the Naval Academy, which set back his career. Later, Iceman, a man with throat cancer who largely uses a computer keyboard to communicate, is introduced to Maverick. Days after assuring Maverick that he would educate the team, he passes away. Maverick and the pilots visit his burial, where they see a missing man formation. Cyclone eliminates Maverick from his position as, while Rooster is paired with Payback and his WSO fanboy, Maverick selects the mission team and assigns himself to Phoenix and her WSO Bob. The remaining pilots and Hangman are placed on alert. The guided missile cruiser USS Leyte Gulf fires Tomahawk cruise missiles to bomb the air base close to the plant as the team takes off from the aircraft carrier USS Theodore Roosevelt. After reaching the plant and taking it out, the crew is assaulted by surface-to-air missiles and 2 Su-57 felons that are on patrol. Maverick gives up his jet to protect Rooster when his options for defense are exhausted. He then ejects. The surviving aircraft return to the carrier after concluding that Maverick was killed in battle. Rooster defies orders and turns around to protect Maverick from a Mi-24 helicopter gunship. Maverick and Rooster collaborate on a P-51 Mustang at a hangar close to the test facility where Maverick was formerly stationed some time after the operation. When Penny and Amelia show up, Maverick takes Amelia for a trip in the P-51. In addition to a picture of their successful mission, Rooster walks over to a photo board and acknowledges pictures of his late father and a younger Maverick.